प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद, श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद की, श्री ब्रजभूमि श्री वृंदावन धाम की, पुरुषोत्तम क्षेत्र श्री जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की, गंगामई की जय, यमुनामई की जय, भक्ति देवी की जय, तुलसी देवी की जय, कलियुग पावन हरिनाम संकीर्तन की जय, हरे कृष्ण महामंत्र की जय, ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय, समवेत गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। All glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। हरे कृष्ण। Reading from Śrīmad Bhāgavatam, Canto 7, Chapter 4, Text number 41. Kvachid utpalakastūṣṇīṃ āste samsparsha nirvritah aspanda pranayananda शैलामीलिते क्षणः सलिलामीलिते क्षणः क्वचित् उत्पलकस्तूष्णीम् आस्ते संस्पर्श निर्वृतः अस्पन्द प्रणयानन्द सलिलामीलिते क्षणः क्वचित् उत्पलकस्तूष्णीम् आस्ते संस्पर्श निर्वृतः अस्पन्द प्रणयानन्द सलिलामीलिते क्षणः क्वचित् उत्पलकस्तूष्णीम् आस्ते संस्पर्श निर्वृतः प्रणयानन्द सलिलामीलिते क्षणः क्वचित् उत्पलकस्तूष्णीम् आस्ते संस्पर्श निर्वृतः अस्पन्द प्रणयानन्द सलिलामीलिते क्षणः क्वचित् उत्पलकस्तूष्णीम् आस्ते संस्पर्श निर्वृतः अस्पन्द प्रणयानन्द सलिलामीलिते क्षणः क्वचित् उत्पलकस्तूष्णीम् आस्ते संस्पर्श निर्वृतः अस्पन्द प्रणयानन्द सलिलामीलिते माताजी। क्वचित् उत्पलकस्तूष्णीम् आस्ते संस्पर्श निर्वृतः अस्पन्द प्रणयानन्द सलिलामीलिते क्षणः क्वचित् उत्पलकस्तूष्णीम् आस्ते संस्पर्शनिर्वृतः अस्पन्दप्रणयानन्द सलिलामीलिते क्षणः क्वचित् उत्पलकस्तूष्णीम् आस्ते संस्पर्शनिर्वृतः अस्पन्दप्रणयानन्द क्वचित्, sometimes, utpulakaha, with hairs on his body standing on end. Tushnim, completely silent. Aste, remains. Samsparsha nirvritaha, feeling great joy by contact with the Lord. Aspanda, steady. Pranayananda, due to transcendental bliss from a relationship of love. Salila, filled with tears. Amilita, half closed. Ikshanaha, whose eyes. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. Sometimes feeling the touch of the Lord's lotus hands, he became spiritually jubilant and remained silent, his head standing on end and tears gliding down from his half-closed eyes because of his love for the Lord. Purport. When a devotee feels separation from the Lord, he becomes eager to see where the Lord is. And sometimes when he feels pangs of separation, tears flow incessantly from his half-closed eyes. As stated by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in his Sikshashtaka, Yugayitam nimeshena chakshusha pravrashayitam. The words chakshusha pravrashayitam refer to tears falling incessantly from the devotee's eyes. These symptoms, which appear in pure devotional ecstasy, were visible in the body of Prahlad Maharaj. Om Ajnanatimmirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupaha Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guroh Shri Yutapadakkamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindho Deenabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Śrīmate Bhaktivedanta Swamin iti namine. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Sunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. I offer my respectful obeisances unto all the devotees who have assembled here. I especially seek blessings from His Grace Aniruddha Prabhu and Ganga Prabhu and all the other senior Vaishnavas here and Achintya Rup Mataji. With your blessings, I would like to make a humble attempt to glorify the qualities of Prahlad Maharaj based on this beautiful shloka from the 7th canto of Śrīmad Bhāgavatam. Here, there is a description of Prahlad Maharaj's feelings of separation from Krishna. Kvachid utpulakaha tushnim aste samsparsha nirvrtaha aspanda pranayananda salila militekshanaha. So the shloka is saying that sometimes Prahlad Maharaj is feeling great ecstasy in the remembrance of the Lord, that he has his hairs, bodily hair standing on end out of ecstasy. And sometimes he is also shedding tears in separation from the Lord. Sometimes he smiles in great joy, feeling a union with the Lord. So Prabhupada is very beautifully, Prabhupada is beautifully explaining in the purport that when a devotee feels separation from the Lord, he becomes eager to see the Lord. And when the feelings of enthusiasm to meet the Lord becomes so overwhelming, tears automatically come from the eyes of the devotee. So now there is anticipation of union with the Lord. There is an anticipation of meeting with the Lord in separation from the Lord. So one is feelings of separation, second is anticipation of meeting, third is after meeting, still devotees feel separation. Right? While seeing the Lord, devotees feel separation. So like that separation from the Lord is also experienced at multiple levels. Right? So one is the pain of separation, second the ecstasy or excitement in the anticipation of meeting, and even after meeting, sometimes a devotee feels incapable of sufficiently experiencing the ecstasy of meeting with the Lord. So he starts missing the Lord even in the presence of the Lord. Especially this happens with the Gopis of Vrindavan. Right? So Śrīmad Bhāgavatam is here describing the feelings of separation from Prahlad. So he had an experience of hearing about the Lord when he was within the womb of his mother. You can come a little ahead so that devotees can join. So Prahlad is feeling separation from the Lord because he already had developed a great connection with the Lord by hearing from a pure devotee like Narada Muni. Although he was within the womb of his mother, Kayadu, the inspiration, the transmission of inspiration from Narada Muni was never obstructed. Right? The other day we were discussing that when the transmitter is potent and when the receiver is potent, the transmission of inspiration will happen seamlessly. Right? Narada Muni is a potent guru and Prahlad is a sincere disciple. So although Prahlad was very young, Prahlad was not yet born, Prahlad is from the demoniac dynasty, all these external quote-unquote disqualifications or shortcomings, etc., were never an obstacle for Prahlad to receive spiritual inspiration from Narada Muni. Right? So now Narada Muni, because he is so potent devotee of the Lord, he could infuse that devotional inspiration in Prahlad. So unless we have that sufficient spiritual strength, unless we have that devotion for the Lord, we cannot inspire devotion in others. Right? So Narada Muni had the track record of inspiring devotion within the hearts of so many people. Prahlad is one example. Dhruva is another example. And the Prachina Barhi, the father of Prachetas, he is another example. Like that, Narada Muni had the track record of inspiring so many people. He transformed 11,000 sons of Daksha into great devotees, right? So in one shot. So Narada Muni is such a potent guru that not a single canto of Śrīmad Bhāgavatam is without the description of Narada Muni.
right from first canto till last canto. All 12 cantos are discussing the stories of Narada Muni or glories of Narada Muni and his preaching efforts, right? So now you see, even Narada Muni also had these feelings of separation from the Lord at one point. In the previous life, Narada Muni was the son of a maid servant, Dasi. Because of the curse given by some Prajapatis in the upper planets, he had to take birth on this earth planet in the family of a maid servant. And somehow he had the great fortune of serving the sages called Bhaktivedantas during the monsoon season. Then Narada Muni, at that time, as a 5-year-old child, he developed great feelings of love for the Lord. Just because these Bhaktivedanta sages were worshipping the Lord sincerely and they were discussing about the Lord's pastimes and qualities regularly, and this boy got an opportunity to sit next to the sages and started hearing every day. He was hearing the pastimes of the Lord. And it was such a great ecstatic experience for him that he went through all the stages of bhakti. Right? Beginning from Shraddha till Prema, Narada Muni passed through all these stages at the age of 5. Right? His disciple is passing through the stages even before he was born only. But in his past life, Narada Muni went through all the stages at the age of 5. Okay? So that's the glory of Narada Muni. So actually, even that little Shraddha in bhakti begins by 2 things. Before the stage of Shraddha, you have 2 more stages. Satam Kripa and Mahat Seva. Satam Kripa means we should have some little mercy of great devotees. Mahat Seva means we should have some little opportunity to offer some service to great devotees. So by receiving some mercy and by rendering little service, we develop some Shraddha, faith in the path of bhakti, faith in the Lord, faith in Shastra. So that Shraddha is a product of Satam Kripa and Mahat Seva, right? So in this way, this little boy, the son of maid servant, developed Shraddha, and later he got involved in Bhajan Kriya, then Anartha Nivritti, then Asakti, Bhava of Prema. So he went up to the stage of Prema. So one day, suddenly, his mother died. So Narada Muni had the only protector, his mother, right? So she was doing some service in different homes and especially in this Brahmana school and somehow maintaining her 5-year-old boy. And the boy is completely dependent on the mother, and the mother also has no other relatives except this child. So there is a very nice, thick, loving bonding between the mother and the son. And during the monsoon season, mother and the son, both of them rendered service to Bhaktivedanta sages. And after the sages initiated this boy in Bhakti Yoga, and after they left after monsoon season, suddenly Narada Muni lost his mother. One day evening, this lady went out to milk a cow in the evening time, and she was bitten by a snake, angry snake, and she died on the spot. Then this child, 5-year-old boy, was totally clueless. He doesn't know what to do. But this boy was so equipped with Krishna Prema, this boy became so advanced in devotional service that he could perceive this calamity in life as the mercy of the Lord. He could see this misery as mercy of the Lord, tapatraya unmulanam. Okay, so then he understood, my Lord is bhaktanam shamabhipsataha. My Lord is the one who always desires auspiciousness for all my devotees, all his devotees at all times. Therefore, he has created this situation. Prabhupada writes in the purport, in first canto, 6th chapter, 9th, 10th, 11th purports are very brilliant. Prabhupada writes in the first line, as soon as Sutta Goswami says that this boy's mother passed away, Prabhupada writes, this is the way of dragging a sincere soul towards the lotus feet of Krishna. So calamity also becomes an opportunity for a devotee to connect with Krishna, to intensify one's dependence on Krishna, to absorb oneself in the remembrance of Krishna. And thus this boy went on a great travel. So like a Prabhu-Acharya, like a traveling mendicant, he started traveling through jungles and forests and many other places and he became a little fatigued at one point, and he went to a lake and took some water, drank some water, took bath, and he became a little relieved from all this fatigue, and he sat under a tree. Then he started meditating on the Lord. He was meditating on the Lord according to the process that is taught to him by the sages, the Bhaktivedanta sages, right? So they taught him how to meditate on the Lord, and he was meditating devotionally, with great absorption. Prema atibhara nirbhinna pulakangoti nirvritaha. Prema atibhara nirbhinna. So this boy was overloaded with prema for the Lord. So he was extremely happy, and he was filled with ecstatic love for the Lord. And pulakango ati nirvritaha, just like Prahlad is experiencing all these ecstatic symptoms in this beautiful shloka that we are discussing today, similarly his guru Narada Muni in his past life as a 5-year-old child also, he was experiencing great ecstasy by meditating on the Lord. He was remembering the Lord. Premati bhara nirbhinna pulakango ati nirvritaha. Pulakango means all the bodily hairs are standing on end. He was having goosebumps. And as he was meditating sincerely, he was able to see the beautiful form of the Lord within his heart. Right? So when we meditate on the form of the Lord, beginning from the toe, from the feet to the face of the Lord, that meditation, that devotional meditation has great impact on our consciousness in various ways. What is the effect of meditating on the lotus feet of the Lord? Sanchintayet bhagavatas charanaravindam vajrankusadhvaja saroruhalanchanadhyam uttunga rakta vilasanna khachakravala jyotsnabhirahatamahad hridayandhakaram. Sanchintayet bhagavatas charanaravindam. When we meditate on the lotus feet of the Lord for a long time, that meditation will act like a thunderbolt on the mountain of our sins, right? So our sins are compared with mountain, and the thunderbolt, Indra's thunderbolt, is known to smash mountains, right? So like that, the meditation on the lotus feet of the Lord will act like a thunderbolt of Indra that can smash the mountain of our sin. Sanchintayet bhagavatas charanaravindam vajra ankusa dhvaja saroruha lanchanadhyam. The Lord's lotus feet are marked with so many auspicious marks like lotus, elephant goad, then vajra, thunderbolt, ankusha, dhvaja, a flag. So these are some auspicious marks on the lotus feet of the Lord. Then uttunga rakta vilasanna khachakravala jyotsnabhirahatamahad hridayandhakaram. When we expose ourselves to the effulgence emanating from the toenails of Krishna's lotus feet, the thick gloom of darkness of ignorance within our hearts will be completely dispelled. So when we are taking darshan of the Lord, the effulgence of Krishna's lotus feet is just coming upon us, and that is destroying the darkness of ignorance in our hearts. That's the effect of meditation on Krishna's lotus feet. In this way we can see the effect of meditation on all the beautiful limbs of the Lord. We began with lotus feet. Let's get into lotus face once, right? Hasam Hare Ravanata Khilaloka Tivra Shokashru Sagara Visoshana Matyudaram Sammohanaya Rachitam Nijamaya Yasya Bhrumandalam Munikriti Makaradhvajasya Hasam Hare Avanata Akhila Loka Tivra Ashru Sagara Visoshana Matyudaram. The Lord's beautiful smile, enchanting smile, is so benevolent that it can completely destroy it can completely dry up the ocean of tears that we have produced because of our lamentation while suffering the threefold material miseries. The conditioned soul is suffering threefold material miseries, is crying, and creating an ocean of tears, ocean of lamentation. When we see the smile of Radha Vallabhji, then that smile will dry up this ocean of tears, right? So we will be filled with confidence, faith, trust, and a great reassurance that I am there. The Lord is just, with His smile, He's reassuring that I am there to protect you from everything, right? You don't worry, right? Just focus on my smile. You do your service. When you serve nicely, then I will smile out of happiness, out of great pleasure, when I'm pleased with your service, and that will relieve you from all material miseries. Right? The Lord is reassuring us. So in this way, Narada Muni, as a 5-year-old child in his past life, he was meditating on the beautiful form of Lord within his heart. Then slowly, the Lord manifested in his heart. He was able to see the form of the Lord within his heart, this boy. And when he was able to see the form of the Lord, he became so ecstatic, and all his bodily hairs were standing on end. He was having tears in his eyes, whatever we have discussed in this beautiful shloka. Kvachid utpulakasa tushnim aste samsparsha nirvrtaha. Right? So pulaka means his body is trembling. He's having goosebumps. Then salila milite kshanaha. Tears were falling from his eyes. So this boy also experienced that ecstasy, ecstatic symptoms. You know what happened then? Suddenly, the Lord withdrew his darshan. Okay, we just discussed the effect of darshan on this boy. The boy could get that darshan within his heart, and suddenly the Lord closed the darshan. Right? So sometimes when we come to the temple, just when the altar was about to close, we just come, and then there is like just a glimpse of darshan of the Lord, and suddenly altar closes because it's time up. Okay, so then there is some kind of disappointment that a devotee feels. Oh, next darshan is after 3 hours. No, Rajbhog darshan is closed, and again Vaikalika darshan will open. So there is some disappointment, right? Similarly, this boy, Narada Muni, in his past life, he was also experiencing great disappointment in separation from the Lord. And he again closed his eyes and continued to meditate in the same way as he was meditating before, but the Lord was not giving him darshan. Right? So this is separation. When a poor man, a very poverty-stricken person, suddenly is bestowed with great riches, right? Suddenly he was told, you have become a multimillionaire, and he gets all the riches. Within a second he loses everything. Again he's back as a beggar. So what kind of pain he undergoes, right? So I think you can come a little ahead. So there's some space for devotees to come in. So his situation was like that, right? This boy's situation was like this. It's like as if he has acquired a great treasure, and suddenly he lost the treasure, right? Suddenly he lost the treasure. So he was in great feelings of separation. As Narada, this boy, was in separation from the Lord, again trying to meditate, the Lord took some compassion upon him and said, my dear boy, I'm sorry, no more darshans for you. In this entire lifetime, no more darshans for you. And no more darshans whole life. Then why did you give me darshan now? I gave you darshan because I want to give you a taste of my darshan, so that you become more and more attached to that darshan, and you start hankering for that darshan. Once again darshan, right? Whenever you go to some great dhams, when you are going out, they write some big letters. Okay, Punar Darshana Prapti Rastu. May you get darshan again of the Lord. So like that, he was saying that I have given you one little darshan for a small time within your heart, so that you develop some hankering for the darshan. You start longing for the darshan again and again. So in this way, the Lord sometimes, he's very unpredictable sometimes, right? The Lord sometimes gives little glimpse of darshan, and suddenly he withdraws it, so that you start hankering for it more and more and more. You say, Aniyur, Aniyur, Aniyur. And, but why did the Lord do this to this boy? He was a small child. The answer is, the Lord apparently said that you have material taints. I will not give my darshan to someone who is not completely purified. You still have some material taints. What material taints he has? He already reached the level of prema. But still the Lord said that you have material taints. The reason is he wanted to increase the humility of this boy. Whenever we have some accomplishments, even spiritual accomplishments also, there is a possibility of becoming proud. The Lord takes the responsibility of humbling a devotee. Okay, you are feeling that you are feeling little pride, say a tinge of pride that you have come closer to me. Yeah, I'll just withdraw my darshan to make you humble. Right? Of course, in this boy's case, Vishnu Chakravarti Thakur writes that the Lord just wanted to increase his humility. But the reality is, This boy definitely had prema for the Lord. He came to the stage of prema. But that prema is infant prema, not youthful prema. An infant baby is also a human being. He also has all senses. And a youthful person, he also has all the senses. But the ability of the senses to express themselves or experience some pleasure is very less in infant baby. They are not developed yet. So similarly, this boy's prema was infant prema. The Lord wanted to make that prema as youthful prema. Okay, may you not stop at the level of infant prema. May your prema become youthful. Let it become more and more developed. And that happens by regularly engaging yourself in chanting the holy names of Krishna, and also hearing the pastimes of the Lord, and also meditating on the Lord. Basically, you perform these elements of sadhana, then eventually your love for me will increase. Then you can get constant darshan. You can come to Vaikuntha whenever you want, right? And this boy, Narada, so at that moment he was in great feelings of separation. In separation from the Lord, what he experienced is love for the Lord. So even in separation, we can experience love of the Lord. My Lord is there. He's thinking about me. He's concerned about me. He's my well-wisher, right? He reassured me that he will definitely give me darshan again. So all the great devotees whose pastimes are described in Śrīmad Bhāgavatam, at one stage of their spiritual life, they were kept in feelings of separation, right? So this Narada also, although he became a devotee at the level of prema as a 5-year-old child, still the Lord kept him in feelings of separation for a while, and he continued to do Sravanam, Kirtanam and Smaranam. Eventually he gave up that body, and he again took birth as Narada Muni, and he can go to Vaikuntha whenever he wants, right? So first canto of Śrīmad Bhāgavatam introduces us to the story of Narada Muni. And if you move little ahead in the first canto, we can see many other examples where devotees are experiencing intense feelings of separation, and expressing those feelings of separation to people who are very close to them, right? So now you see, Mother Earth becomes so overwhelmed because of the demoniac forces who were living on her surface. So all these demoniac people with their great armies, they were creating havoc on the surface of Mother Earth. Mother Earth becomes very perturbed, and then she offers prayers to the Lord. Oh Lord, please come and protect me, right? So then the Lord descends in some avatar. So he performed his pastimes. Krishna descended to do paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya cha dushkritam dharma samsthapanarthaya sambhavami yuge yuge. The Lord appears repeatedly on this planet Earth to protect the virtuous, to punish the vicious, and to establish dharma. So Krishna also appeared about 5,000 years back, and then he also did these three things. Some personally he has done, and through his devotees also he did paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya dushkritam in the Kurukshetra war, and he left. And after Krishna departed from the surface of earth, Mother Earth is in intense feelings of separation from Krishna. She was saying, Kavasa heta viraham purushottamasya premavaloka ruchirasmita valgu jalpaihi stairyam samanamaharan madhumaninam romotsavo mamayadangri vitankitaya Kavasa heta viraham purushottamasya. Who can tolerate the pangs of separation from Krishna? As Prabhupada is writing here, that when a devotee feels separation from the Lord becomes eager to see where the Lord is, and sometimes when he feels pangs of separation, tears flow incessantly from his eyes. So even Mother Earth also was an intense feeling of separation. Of all the devotees of Krishna, who got his association during his manifest pastimes? Who got the maximum association of Krishna? Huh? Gopis, okay. Huh? Huh? The earth. Yeah, she's right. Earth. Mother Earth got maximum answer is done. Okay, I got the answer. So, Mother Earth got the maximum association of Krishna. Because Krishna was in Vrindavan for some time, more than a decade, then he shifted to Mathura, then he shifted to Dwaraka, he visited Kundinapur, then that Vidarbha city, then he went to Svargalok, he went to Sutalalok, he went to Yamalok, he went to different places. But wherever he is, he's in touch with Mother Earth, right? So Mother Earth is thinking that, oh my dear Lord Krishna, I was celebrating, I was having a great festival when you were walking on my surface, right? Kava saheta viraham purushottamasya premavaloka ruchirasmita valgujalpaihi. Premavaloka, by his loving glances. Ruchirasmita, by his pleasant smiles. Valgujalpaihi, by his hearty appeals and conversations with his sweetheart queens like Satyabhama and Rukmini, right? Stairyam samanamaharan madhumaninam. Stairyam, he would completely control the passionate wrath of all his sweethearts like Satyabhama by his pleasant exchanges with them. Romotsavo mama yadanghrivitankitaya. Mother Earth is saying that my hairs were standing on end, right? What were Mother Earth's hairs? All these green grasses, plants, the greenery, okay? Her hairs were standing on end as soon as she remembers that, oh, Krishna has descended upon me and he was doing so many pastimes, now I am missing. Who can tolerate the pangs of separation? After Krishna departed, Mother Earth was missing Krishna and she was having tears in her eyes out of separation from Krishna, right? So, although Krishna performed so many pastimes at various places in the earth, planet, but Vrindavan is very special. Although Krishna was walking on the surface of earth, Vrindavan is very special because the Gopis of Vrindavan say in the Venu Gita, Vrindavanam sakhi bhuvo vitanoti kirtim yaddevaki sutapadam bhujalabdha lakshmi. Vrindavanam sakhi bhuvo vitanoti kirtim. The land of Vrindavan is spreading the glories of this earth planet. Vitanoti kirtim. The earth planet is glorious because Vrindavan land is there on her surface. And what is the speciality of Vrindavan? Yaddevaki sutapadam bhujalabdha lakshmi. Vrindavan land is marked with the auspicious footprints of Krishna because Krishna doesn't even wear shoes in Vrindavan, right? So he's walking barefoot. While in other places where Krishna is wearing shoes, Mother Earth is separated from Krishna's lotus feet by whatever 1 inch or half inch, whatever may be the thickness of Krishna's footwear. But in Vrindavan, Krishna is not wearing even shoes. So he's directly marking the surface of earth with his auspicious footprints. No Gopa or Gopi or a cow or a calf or a monkey or a peacock or a buffalo or a parrot or a peacock would disturb those footprints. They are the real ornaments of Mother Earth. And now Krishna departed, Mother Earth is in feelings of separation. Narada, that boy in his past life, he was overwhelmed with feelings of separation. Prahalad in this shloka, he is in feelings of separation. Mother Earth was in feelings of separation. When Krishna departed from this world, all the Pandavas were in intense feelings of separation. Right? So when Krishna departed from this world, there were some inauspicious omens that were visible in Hastinapur kingdom. And Yudhishthira Maharaj was seeing all these omens, and he was sharing with our Bhima. So I can see so many inauspicious symptoms in our kingdom which were never before. What happened? And he started finding out various reasons for it, right? So, and he also said that I have sent Arjuna to Dwaraka to find out what is Krishna's next program, and 7 months passed, Arjuna did not come back. What's happening there? So Yudhishthira Maharaj was wondering. Suddenly Arjuna comes back after 7 months. And Arjuna, by this time Krishna departed from this world. As soon as Yudhishthira Maharaj saw Arjuna, Yudhishthira Maharaj started asking so many questions. And Arjuna was unable to answer. He offered obeisances to Yudhishthira and he stood there with tears in his eyes. And he was so overwhelmed with grief, with pain of separation from Krishna. And Yudhishthira is asking hundreds of questions. Oh, you came from Dwaraka? How is Krishna? How is Balram? How is Devaki? How is Vasudev? How are the 18 wives of Devaki? How is Ugrasena? How is Akrura? How is this? How is that? How are they? He's asking hundreds of questions, right? And Arjuna was apparently bothered and irritated by the speculative enquiries of Yudhishthir. Why Yudhishthir has to speculate? He's Dharmaraj, right? So he's asking so many questions and Arjuna not responding only. Then Yudhishthir Maharaj was obliged to ask some personal questions to Arjuna. Arjuna, is your health all right? You look very sick, you look very morose, okay? So, or were you defeated by some inferior Kshatriya? Or could you not protect some people who have taken your shelter? Or did you take prasad without feeding children or old men or brahmanas? Okay? So like that he was asking some 10 questions about Arjuna's personal welfare. Still Arjuna was not responding. He asked at least some 20, 30, 40 questions about the welfare of the relatives in Dwarka. Then he asked 10 questions about the personal welfare of Arjuna. Arjuna was not responding only. Then finally Yudhishthir was obliged to ask him, Arjuna, you are so morose. You are lamenting so much. I am unable to find any other reason for your lamentation other than this. Krishna departed from this world or what? Are you missing your friend? That's why you are so morose? So he just frankly asked him like that. Okay. Then Arjuna said, oh my God, finally you understood the reason. Right? Finally you understood. Of course, he did not say exactly like this, but he was really bothered by so many questions asked by Yudhishthir Maharaj. And Yudhishthir finally could find out. Because it's not that Yudhishthir Maharaj could not figure that out before. Earlier, when Vidura came, Yudhishthir asked so many questions. Vidura, you have gone to so many places in your pilgrimage. You must have gone to Dwarka also. How are our relatives? Yudhishthir, when he asked these questions, Vidura answered all the questions except the departure of Krishna. Because he understands, if I say that Krishna has departed from this world, all the Pandavas will be absorbed in lamentation. So let me not speak that. Okay. So then, Narada Muni came and told Yudhishthir Maharaj some time back. He said that the Supreme Lord descended on this planet to establish Dharma and his mission is completed. You can be around as long as he is around. He said that much and he left. Yudhishthir had sufficient hints. And on top of it, Yudhishthir was also seeing this Arjuna so morose. He had sufficient hints to figure out that Krishna has disappeared from this planet. But although his intelligence was able to figure out that Krishna has disappeared from this planet, his heart is unable to accept the fact. Right? We know philosophy. We know Gita. we know Bhagavatam. We know that this material world is temporary. We have to be detached. We have so many sources to philosophically and intellectually reconcile the situations within. But all of that may not be able to address our emotions when we are too overwhelmed with feelings of separation from the beloved. Right? Whether it is a devotee of Krishna or Krishna himself, the feelings of separation are there. When a devotee is overwhelmed with emotions, no amount of philosophy can console. Right? Ultimately, we have to take shelter of that philosophy, but at that moment, when the feelings are so much, it's a very difficult to reconcile situation. So Yudhishthir was like this. Although Yudhishthir's intelligence was able to figure out that Krishna has disappeared from this planet, his heart is unable to accept it. So he's asking hundreds of questions. That's the reason. So Yudhishthir is in feelings of separation. When Arjuna confirmed that yes, Krishna has disappeared from this planet, Yudhishthir was devastated. He could understand it. He could figure that out. But he did not get a pakka confirmation till now. Therefore, he is asking different possibilities. Okay. For example, this boy has an iPhone, for example. He doesn't have, okay. He has an iPhone. And is given to this friend. Arya has given to Aryan. Okay. And this boy went to the terrace. He was playing with the phone and the phone somehow slipped out his hands and it fell from 5th floor or 6th floor and it was broken into pieces. Okay. Just imagine. Okay. So it was broken into pieces. Then some other boy, this Hare, so he came to tell Aryan that your phone is broken now. Okay. So now, really it's broken? No, Arya holds the phone very carefully. I understand. I have given my phone to him so many times. He handles it very carefully. He will never drop it. He will never break it. He is just anticipating that may this not be true. Okay. Okay, let this not become true. So he's anticipating. And he says, and like somehow by seeing the expressions of Sri Hari, he's obliged to believe that maybe the phone is broken. Then he's asking questions. Okay, maybe the phone is broken in this corner or that corner, right? Maybe only the, cover, shell, case is broken. The phone also damaged, right? How far is the damage? So like that, he is trying to minimize that pain of separation from the phone, right? So by asking hundreds of questions, till he gets a pakka confirmation that this phone is no more usable. He keeps on questioning, right? So because of some attachment to that gadget, okay? So similarly, if that is the amount of attachment that we could have for some object, material object, how much attachment all the Pandavas can have for Krishna? Right? Darshana sparsha samlapa shayanasana bhojanaihi. So we have 6 loving exchanges with other devotees, right? Like that, the Pandavas had 6 loving exchanges with Krishna directly. They were seeing Krishna, darshana, sparsha, they were touching Krishna, samlapa, they are conversing with Krishna, shayana, they are sleeping with Krishna, ashana, they are eating with Krishna, bhojanaihi, they are eating with Krishna. Like that, they had all kinds of 6 loving exchanges directly with Krishna. Saheran viraham katham, who can tolerate the pangs of separation from Krishna? When Krishna was departing from Hastinapur, all the Hastinapur Vasis were feeling so much of separation from Krishna that they were crying tears. They are unable to leave Krishna, right? Krishna did not depart. Krishna did not disappear from the planet. He's just going from Hastinapur to Dwaraka. That itself caused so much of pain to the heart of all the Hastinapur Vasis that their hearts were melting in separation from Krishna. All the ladies, they went on the rooftops. They started watching Krishna just moving there, and they were in separation. And these ladies, they were trying to control their tears, right? Although they were about to shed tears, it's very difficult. You're so emotional, tears are just flowing and then you are trying to control the tears. You know why they were trying to control the tears? Krishna is just going from Hastinapur, he's traveling now, and if we cry behind him, that will create some inauspiciousness in his journey. Therefore, let's control our tears. So they, with great difficulty, they were controlling the tears. So this is the situation of the women of Hastinapur and even the Pandavas. The Pandavas, they were following Krishna out of separation. Just to see him off, you may go to, when somebody is just going out of the house, you may accompany the person up to the gate. But Pandavas are kind of following. Krishna had to say that, are you coming to Dwaraka? Or you're just coming to see me off? No, return. Go back to Hastinapur. Take care of your kingdom responsibilities. That is a separation, feelings of separation from Krishna, even when Krishna is there on the planet. If Krishna has gone out of the planet, how much would be the amount of separation that they would feel? Now you see this Arjuna, he started responding to Yudhishthir. He said, Vanchitoham Maharaja Harina Bandhurupina Yena me pahritam tejo deva vismapanam mahad. Vanchitoham Maharaja, oh Maharaja Yudhishthir, I have been cheated royally. Right, Harina Bandhurupina, Lord Hari appeared as my bandhu, as my relative, as my friend, as my cousin, as my associate, as my driver, right? He has come to me, but he just left. Right? Yena me apahritam tejo deva vismapanam mahat. Now that Krishna left me, all my powers are gone. I could mesmerize all the great devatas, including Indra and Shiva also with my powers. Arjuna is such a great warrior that he had great military certificates from great universal celebrities in those days. He's such a great warrior. And I'm missing Krishna and all my powers are gone. And Arjuna is not lamenting for the loss of powers. Arjuna is lamenting for the loss of Krishna, right? Arjuna understands. Then Arjuna speaks a series of shlokas where he says, I could win the hand of Draupadi because of Krishna. I could pierce that Matsya Yantra because of Krishna's grace. And Bhima could kill Jarasandha because of Krishna's grace. I could stand in front of all these great warriors like Bhishma, Drona, Karna, etc. in the battlefield of Kurukshetra only because of Krishna. So he started attributing the glory and the credit of all the accomplishments that he had so far to Krishna. Right? When a crow borrows some peacock feathers and puts in its tail and says, see how beautiful I am looking, it's only making fun of itself, right? Similarly, whatever powers we have, whatever glories we have, whatever accomplishments we have had, all this is because of Krishna's grace, Guru's grace, Vaishnava's grace. So a devotee doesn't become so eager to take credit for one's accomplishments. All glories to Vaishnavas, all glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to Guru and Krishna. So like that, devotee transfers credits. Arjuna is also doing that in separation from Krishna, right? So Arjuna, next he said, Yasya kshana viyogena loko hiyapriya darshanah uktena harahito hyesha mritakaha procyate yatha. Arjuna said, Yasya kshana viyogena, just a moment of separation from Krishna, loko hi apriya darshanah, that will make entire universe void. All the planets within this universe appear like dead bodies devoid of life in separation from Krishna. That's what Prabhupada is quoting here. Shunyayitam jagat sarvam govinda virahena me. Shunyayitam jagat sarvam. When you lose a beloved devotee or beloved Lord, when you miss the association of that beloved Lord or devotees, you feel that entire universe has become void. Shunyayitam jagat sarvam govinda virahena me. That's what Arjuna is experiencing now. Yasya kshana viyogena, even a moment of separation becomes so heavy for a devotee to handle, right? Because there is so much love. Krishna has done so many things for the Pandavas. Sarathya parishada sevana sakhya dautya वीरासनानुगमनस्तवन प्रणामान स्निग्धेषु पाण्डुषु जगत् प्रणतिं च विष्णोर् भक्तिं करोति नृपतिश्चरणारविन्दे. सारथ्य पार्षद सेवन सख्य दौत्य वीरासनानुगमनस्तवन प्रणामान. Sarathya means Krishna acted as a Sarathi, a chariot driver for Arjuna. Parishada, he accepted Agra Puja in the Rajasuya sacrifice, right? Sarathya Parishada Sevana, he's acting like a servant. Sakhya, friend. Dautya, messenger. Who will be sent as a messenger? Someone who's very weak is sent as a messenger. There, Hanumanji is taking the message of Ram to Sita and Ravana, and here Krishna is taking the message of Pandavas to Duryodhana. You see, Krishna did such a menial job. Virasana, like a night watchman. Anugamana, following them. Stavana, praising them. Pranama, offering obeisances, because Yudhishthir is elder cousin. Krishna offers obeisances to Yudhishthir. So these are the ways in which Krishna connected with the Pandavas, and Pandavas have intense feelings of separation from Krishna. Virasananugamana stavana pranaman snigdheshu pandushu jagat pranatim cha vishnor. Because Pandavas are malleable by the will of Krishna, Krishna is doing all these menial services to the Pandavas, right? So we need to be malleable to the will of the Lord. So to the degree we love Krishna, to that degree we try to align our lives and align our thoughts and align our intelligence and align our hearts to the instructions of Krishna, to the teachings of Krishna. So to the degree we align ourselves to the instructions and teachings of Krishna, to that degree we develop love for Krishna, we experience the feelings of separation from Krishna, right? So these feelings of separation are on a very high plane. Having tears in the eyes in separation from Krishna is not a small thing, right? Because like we can do that with some objects that we love, with some people that we love, but feelings of separation from Krishna, they're like too high for us to handle, for us to comprehend at this moment. But because we are not remembering, we within our memory, there is not much experience of our memories of union with Krishna. We are unable to understand these feelings of separation from Krishna. Like see, for example, I have a habit of eating gulab jamun. For the last 20 years, I am eating gulab jamun every day. Okay. Today, if you don't feed me gulab jamun, will I feel separation from gulab jamun or not? Huh? Right? 20 years every day, 365 days in a day, I'm eating gulab jamun every day. But if I don't get it today, I feel separation. But last 20 years, I have never seen gulab jamun only. Today, will I feel separation from gulab jamun? Absolutely not. Right? So we don't feel separation from Krishna. At sadhaka level, an average sadhaka may not feel separation from Krishna because there are no memories of union with Krishna. There are no memories, sweet memories of being with Krishna. Therefore, there is a gap in our understanding of all these emotions of this Yudhishthir, or Kunti, or Arjuna, or this Prahlad Maharaj, or Narada in his past life, or the Pandavas. So we are unable to empathize sufficiently. But there is a possibility for us also to cultivate those feelings of separation to some degree. How? At our sadhaka stage, our meeting with Krishna is through our sadhana elements. So every day we are chanting the holy names of Krishna, right? 16 rounds, that's our meeting time with Krishna. Every day we are taking darshan of Krishna, right? Radha Vallabhji, Gaurnitai, Jagannath Baldev Subhadra, that's our meeting time with Krishna. Every day we are hearing Śrīmad Bhāgavatam, that's our meeting time with Krishna. We are rendering so many services to Guru, Krishna and Vaishnavas, that's our meeting with Krishna. When we try to develop a relationship with Krishna, when we try to relish the pleasure of being with Krishna through all these elements of sadhana, like whether it is attending Mangalarti, or chanting prayers, or chanting the holy names, or reading Bhagavatam, hearing Bhagavatam, when we develop a relationship, connection with Krishna through the elements of sadhana, one day we will be able to miss Krishna. Right? Oh, I missed chanting the holy names of Krishna today in the temple hall with other devotees. I missed Śrīmad Bhāgavatam class today. Let's try to cultivate feelings of separation from these elements of sadhana. Then we will be able to empathize and develop those actual feelings of separation that pure devotees feel for Krishna, like all these great devotees. And the topmost devotees of Krishna are the Gopis of Vrindavan. Why? They are constantly in feelings of separation from Krishna only. In our kids' retreat we were discussing, how is love measured?
By separation.
The love is not measured in millimeters or kilometers or kilograms. Okay, love is measured by the amount of separation that you feel for the beloved. Right? The Gopis of Vrindavan are the topmost devotees. So they feel separation from Krishna even in the presence of Krishna. When the Gopis come in front of Krishna, and Krishna is just manifesting himself in such a beautiful form, and the devotees, the Gopis feel that 2 eyes are not sufficient. Brahma does not know how to design human bodies. He has given only 2 eyes. With 2 eyes, how can we experience the beauty of Krishna? It's not sufficient. We need thousands of eyes. And that too, Brahma, although he has given only 2 eyes, he has kept some eyelids. They are constantly blinking. Within one eye blink, the Gopis of Vrindavan are feeling millions of yugas of separation from Krishna. Right? So, Bhaktapaya Bhujanga Garudamani Trailokya Rakshamani Gopi Lochana Chatakam Budamani Saundarya Mudramani Yahkantamani Rukmini Ghanakucha Dvandvaika Bhushamani Shreyo Devasikhamani Rdishatuno Gopala Chudamani. In this shloka, the second line says, Gopi Lochana Chatakam Budamani Saundarya Mudramani. All the gopis, their eyes are like Chataka birds. Just like Chataka birds, just constantly look forward for the rain clouds. When will you shower rain so that I can drink? I can't handle Bisleri water. I can't handle even Ganga water or Yamuna water or any such pure water. I just need direct water from the clouds only. Similarly, the Gopis of Vrindavan also, they are not satisfied with any form of Krishna. They just want the Vrindavan form of Krishna only. So they are feeling separation from Krishna even in the presence of Krishna. So when Krishna subdued Kaliya and came out of Kaliya lake, then, 8:35, I'll just conclude in 2-3 minutes. So when Krishna came out of Kaliya lake, then all the gopis, all the Vrajavasis, they had an opportunity to come forward and express their love for Krishna, congratulate Krishna, appreciate Krishna, hug Krishna. All the Gopas came and then embraced Krishna. All the cows and calves came and started licking Krishna's body. All the elderly Gopas embraced Krishna. All the elderly Gopis embraced Krishna. But the younger Gopis in Madhuri Rasa, they were standing away, feeling separation from Krishna. They did not have the opportunity to come closer because of social customs and Vedic regulations and all other protocols and policies of this world, they are unable to come forward to express their feelings of separation from Krishna. All their feelings of love are hidden within their heart. Therefore, they are called Gopis, because their love for Krishna is Gopya. Right? They are hiding. So they expressed all of it in Rasa Leela. When Krishna played this flute under Vamshivat, so they left everything and they came to Krishna. Pati sutanvayad bhratru bandhava ati vilanghyate nyachyutagata gati virastavod gita mohita kitavayoshitaha kastyajenishi. So when they came to Krishna with so much of anticipation, Krishna said, hey, it's a forest in the middle of the night. A forest is infested with so many ferocious animals. Go back home. Then they started chastising Krishna. How can you ask us to go back home? So after that, so Krishna said, okay, fine, stay. And then he started dancing with them. And after some time, Krishna disappeared. Then they started this song of separation. They are singing Gopi Gita. Right? They started chastising Krishna also while glorifying Krishna. At one point they said, Nakhalu Gopika Nandano Bhavan Akhila Dehina Mantaratmadrik Vikhana Sarthito Vishwaguptaye Sakhaudevan Sattvatam Kule. They said, Nakhalu Gopika Nandano Bhavan. Krishna, you don't look like you are the son of Yashoda Mata. You are not son of Yashoda Mata. Nakhalu Gopika Nandano Bhavan. Akhila Dehina Mantaratmadruk. You are the Paramatma within the hearts of all living beings. Right? Vikhana Sarthito Vishwaguptaye. Vikhanasa means our Brahma. When he offered you obeisances, when he offered prayers to protect this world, you have descended in this Satvata Kula, in the Yadu dynasty. So you are not Yashoda Mata's son and you are Paramatma. So they said like this. Apparently this prayer seems that they are glorifying Krishna as Paramatma. They are aware of Krishna's godhood, but actually they are chastising Krishna. They said, Nakhalu Gopika Nandano Bhavan. Krishna, you are not Gopika Nandan. You are not son of Yashoda Mata. Because Yashoda Mata's son is bound by love of his devotees. Yashoda Mata's son is Damodar, who is bound by the love of Mother Yashoda. Right? So, but you are Paramatma. Right? Akhila Dehina Mantaratmadruk. Paramatma is neutral. Paramatma is not Bhagavan, right? He is neutral. He is just giving Matta Hasmritir Gnanam Apohanam. He is indifferent. You are an indifferent Paramatma. You are not Gopika Nandan who loves devotees and who is bound by the affection of devotees. Like that they are chastising Krishna, right? So out of their feelings of separation. So this is the extent of separation that a devotee can feel for Krishna. And by the way, all of us have this potential to feel that intense separation from Krishna, because love is expressed in separation, right? So love, the test of love is how much separation we feel for the beloved. When we miss mother or father or brother or sister or friend or whoever is very close to us, we start crying. There is love there. So that much love we can develop for Krishna also. So that's what all these great devotees are experiencing. Now in this beautiful shloka, Prahalad is experiencing all that feelings of separation. Yugaitam nimishena govinda virahena me, as Prabhupada is very beautifully writing in the purport. So for a devotee to pass life without Krishna is like, every moment is like a great yuga. So these are some thoughts and some examples from various cantos of Śrīmad Bhāgavatam about feelings of separation like Prahalad is experiencing here. I'll conclude here. Sorry for going beyond time. Thank you very much. Grantharaj Śrīmad Bhāgavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Any comments, Prabhu? Any comments or corrections? Aniruddha Prabhu or Ganga Prabhu, you would like to add something or share something or any questions? Oh, Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji, for the very enlightening class today. I had a question about the feelings of separation that you were talking about. How do we attain all of the feelings of separation and reach to the stage of prema in this one life with the sadhana that we do?
Yes, we discussed it. So first we need to cultivate friendship with the elements of sadhana. Let's try to absorb ourselves in chanting the holy names of Krishna, reading Śrīmad Bhāgavatam, hearing Śrīmad Bhāgavatam, and coming to the temple, taking darshan of the deities, attending aartis, whatever, festivals. So when we absorb ourselves in the sadhana elements, then slowly we are creating our bonding with Krishna. We are trying to develop our love for Krishna, right? When that becomes more and more intense, then naturally, when you miss one festival, there is separation. When you miss one Mangalarti, there is separation. When you miss one chanting session with the devotees, there is separation. When you miss one Bhagavatam class, there is separation. First, we need to develop that connection. Okay? So basically, we need to do our sadhana as the regimen. We need to follow the regimen given by Prabhupada and other acharyas. So then we will be able to cultivate the real feelings of separation. Now, in the 11th canto of Śrīmad Bhāgavatam, there is a statement, beautiful statement. If we think that separation, if we think that suffering comes from any other source other than separation from Krishna, we are in illusion. You understand this? Because we are separated from Krishna, because we are in separation from Krishna, we are suffering. Okay? Union with Krishna gives happiness, separation from Krishna gives distress. So we are suffering because of being separated from Krishna. So this is a external physical separation, right, from Krishna. But devotees, the kind of separation that they are feeling at their level, that's like because of love, they are feeling separation. Because there is lack of love, we are separated from Krishna. When we cultivate love, we feel separation from Krishna, loving separation from Krishna, right? That's the separation between Krishna and a conditioned soul, and the separation between Krishna and a pure devotee are little different, right? We are separated from Krishna, they are feeling separation from Krishna out of love. Here, love is not there. Got it? Okay. Okay. Hare. Okay.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, thank you for the wonderful class. My question was, you know how you stated the verse Vrindavano Sakhi Bhuvo? Where is that quoted?
That is in 10th canto, 21st chapter, Venu Gita. Vrindavanam Sakhi Bhuvo Vitanoti Kirtim Yad Devaki Sutapadam Bhajalabdha Lakshmi. 10.21. Okay.
Thank you,
Thank
Prabhuji.
you.
Hare Krishna.
Next question. Next, Anusha. And you. Is it children class or adult class? Yes. Ask.
Thank you, Prabhuji, for the wonderful class. Prabhuji, why did Krishna give many calamities to Prahlad Maharaj, even though he was remembering Krishna in every situation?
Why Krishna gave so many calamities to Prahlad? All the Prahlad is remembering Krishna in all situations. Just to show all of us that even if a devotee is put in hundreds and thousands of calamities and reversals and difficulties in life, devotee will never forget Krishna. Devotee will never lose trust and faith in Krishna. Devotee will never doubt the integrity and intention of Krishna, although they face difficulties. To prove this point, Prahlad was kept into so many difficulties. But the Lord never gave up Prahlad. He was always saving him. Calamity is arranged and the protection is also arranged by the Lord. And for that, through that, a lesson is arranged for us to learn. Okay?
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you. Yes, Prabhu.
Thank you, Prabhuji, for the wonderful class. Prabhuji, I just had a question that you stated that sometimes the devotee doesn't feel the fullness of ecstasy even when the Lord is there. But Prabhuji, we see in Chaitanya Charitamrita that when Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when he touches someone, then they just go in full ecstasy, and then how do we relate this point, Prabhuji?
But when Mahaprabhu is touching devotees?
No, in Chaitanya Charitamrita, if Chaitanya Mahaprabhu interacts with the devotee and then touches him, then he goes in ecstasy, shows the symptoms. But then you said the devotee doesn't feel sometimes the fullness of ecstasy, even when the Lord
So when there are impurities within the heart, we may not feel the fullness of loving ecstasy, either in separation from Krishna or in union with Krishna. That's the average situation of a conditioned soul. But when Mahaprabhu was doing his South India Yatra or just traveling to some places, he would embrace someone, he would infuse them with Krishna prema, they will become ecstatic. How can that happen instantly? That's your question, right? So basically that is Mahaprabhu's mercy. Chirada dattam nijagupta vittam swaprema nama mritamatyudaraham apamaram yo vitatara gauraha krishno janebhyastamaham prapadye. The Supreme Lord Krishna appeared as Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu for the sole purpose of giving Krishna prema to all the conditioned souls. He has his own personal agendas also. He wants to experience the feelings of Radharani and all. They are his internal reasons. But the reason that is very much relevant for all of us is he has come to give us Krishna prema. So when Mahaprabhu embraces, that embrace comes along with great taste for Krishna Nama, and through Krishna Nama we develop Krishna prema. So that is Mahaprabhu's special mercy, causeless mercy. Right?
Thank you.
Yes, Aryan.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, thank you for the class. Prabhuji, I had one question that, you know how Prahlad Maharaj and Dhruv Maharaj, they got like bhakti to Krishna really in a young age. So is that because in a young age you get like bhakti quicker, or is it because they did more bhakti than others, or?
Yeah. You are getting, at a young age, you are getting so much of inspiration in bhakti. Okay, I will answer your question by quoting Prahlad only. In chapter 6, first shloka. So Prahlad was sent to school, the school of atheism, where the professors are Mr. Shanda and Mr. Amarka. And the syllabus is Dharma, Artha, Kama, no moksha. Okay, and the head of the school is Sukracharya, right? So, and the sponsor of the school or whatever is Hiranyakashipu. So Prahlad is studying in such a university, okay, such a school. So he was not taking in the teachings of Shanda and Amarka so much, but he was giving teachings to his school friends. Okay, so what was he saying? First shloka of 6th chapter. Kaumara acharet pragno dharman bhagavatani durlabham manusham janmam tadapyadhruvam arthadam. So Kaumara acharet pragno. So Kaumara means young age, 5-year-old. Okay. So pragna means intelligent people begin to practice the process of bhakti and they follow Bhagavata dharma, bhakti dharma, right from their childhood at the age of 5. So these are the teachings of Prahlad. So yes, it's Bhagavatam's recommendation, it's Prahlad's recommendation that we start bhakti at a very young age. So Narada became a great devotee at the age of 5, Prahlad at the age of 5, before that only Dhruva at the age of 5, and Uddhava, when he was a small child, 5-year-old boy or whatever is the age, a small child, he is so absorbed in playing with the dolls of Krishna, his mother will call him, come Uddhava, take some breakfast. Uddhava says, no, I am busy with worshipping Radha Krishna. Right? And we have Parikshit Maharaj, who has seen the Lord within the womb of his mother. He came out of the mother's womb, and he starts examining everybody. Is he Krishna? Is he Krishna? Is he Krishna? I have seen one person when I was in the womb of my mother. Who is he? Where is he? He's searching everywhere. He's a great devotee at a young age. Prabhupada, when he was a small child, he was organizing Jagannath Rath Yatra. He was crying when he did not get a chariot. When old lady gave him a chariot and Prabhupada organized Jagannath Rath Yatra. So we have the examples of several pure devotees from Bhagavatam, and even in our spiritual history also, that many devotees began practice of bhakti at a very young age, like all of you in the front rows are filled with kids, right? Yes, it's good to start bhakti from beginning.
Are you ready?
Thank you. Yes.
Hi Krishna Prabhuji, thank you for the wonderful class. I just had one question. Why is separation the topmost form of love?
So when love is experienced in 2 flavors, right? Vipralambha and Sambhoga. Sambhoga means the joy of union, and Vipralambha means the pain of separation. So on material plane, distress is distress, joy is also distress. On spiritual plane, happiness is happiness, distress is also happiness. Okay, so that is the absolute nature of spiritual feelings. So why separation is considered the highest? Okay, because in the presence of a person, to remember him, to love him may be easy. But when the person is not present in front of you, still you are remembering him, still you are loving him, still you are thinking of him, still you are constantly meditating on what pleases him, right? So that shows greater love, isn't it? Right? So in the presence of something, now if you are seeing the book and then reading it, okay, reading the shloka, okay, that's fine, that's good. But book is not there. Still the shloka is there in your mind, which it has come closer to the heart, right? Even though when the person is not there in front of you, still you are remembering him, you are meditating on him, you are thinking of him, you are thinking in terms of what pleases him, what displeases him. You are trying to align your thoughts and activities according to that person's mood. So that means so much love. So therefore, separation is greatest thing. And the gopis are constantly in separation. The feelings of separation are bestowed upon them because they are the topmost devotees in one sense. Okay. Okay. Any other question from adults? Any other question? Yes, Prabhu. How much time do we have? Please decide, the organizers. Okay. When to stop, please let me know. It's 8:55 almost.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you very much for a wonderful class. When you were giving a separation, I was thinking of Sudama and Krishna. Krishna also has got the same feelings for the devotees as we have for Krishna. And dekh Sudama ki deen dasha, karuna karke karuna nidhi roe, pani parat ko chuyo nahi, nainan ke jal se pag dhoe. So, do you believe in this, that Krishna was washing the feet of Sudama with his tears in spite of the water in the parat? So, that's true. It's not written in Bhagavatam though. So, I just wanted to confirm from you because you have heard
Krishna
so much.
had tears in his eyes as he was washing the feet of Sudama. The tears are tears of love.
So, he did. Lord Krishna did wash the feet of Sudama with his...
Yeah, he must have washed. there is no it is possible, definitely. He must have washed.
Thank you very much. My next question: how you came with ISKCON? How you came in contact with ISKCON?
Okay. Should we answer
Briefly,
this?
you can tell us a bit if you like to say.
Yeah, I'll just conclude in half minute or 1 minute. So when I joined my college in the Bangalore Indian Institute of Science, I just entered my hostel room in the 3rd floor. So I saw a beautiful picture of Krishna, Murli Krishna, a small child with a parrot, with 2 parrots next to him holding a flute. Some roses are there, yellow. Very big poster of Krishna was there in my hostel room. And spontaneously, I felt so much of attraction for that. Then I asked the cleaning person, don't remove this picture, just keep it as it is. I'll complete my admission formalities and then come back. Then I went for doing all the admission formalities, came after a couple of hours, and he removed the picture. I was feeling so disappointed, so dejected, and I asked him, where is that picture? He said something which I never understood, because I didn't know Kannada, I didn't know Hindi, he didn't know English, he didn't know Telugu. So there was a lot of communication gap. Maybe he thought that I told him to remove it. Somehow he removed it, and I was feeling so bad. Then my aunt was there. Okay, she was a resident of Bangalore. She said, these kinds of pictures are available in ISKCON. I said, what does that mean? What is ISKCON? She also did not know what is ISKCON. She said ISKCON means Krishna temple. Oh, ISKCON means Krishna temple. Which language it is, I didn't know. She didn't know the expansion, right? International Society for Krishna Consciousness. So that weekend, we went to the temple, and at the book distribution table, I saw the same picture, same size, very big. And I ran there asking for the picture. He said, 20 rupees. Then he's also very smart. ISKCON book distributor, right? He said, okay, this is 20 rupees. You take this Krishna book, it is free. I said, I opened Krishna book. So many stories are there, and so many beautiful paintings are also there. Yashoda, Krishna, and many other pictures are there. I was so attracted to that Darshan of Krishna. And I took the book also, I took the picture also. Went to my room, kept it in the hostel room at the same spot, and I started staring at him, and then I would just do my academic studies and all. After a few months, one of my classmates came to my room and said, oh, what is this picture? Are you an ISKCON devotee? I said, what does that mean? What do you mean by ISKCON devotee? He said, there are some people. I said, I went to ISKCON temple a few times. I liked it. It's nice. Okay. And I like this picture, and I got a book also. Seeing that, he thought I'm an ISKCON devotee. So then he said, there are some devotees in your hostel, in the first floor. You are living in third floor. They are in the ground floor. So I can introduce them to you if you want. They are doing some Mangalarti, they are chanting Hare Krishna, they are discussing Bhagavatam. If you like, I can introduce you to them. I said, I don't mind. It was on November 11th, 2005, afternoon, lunchtime. He introduced me, okay, to some devotees there. That evening I went and I started interacting with them, and I ended up like this after some time. Okay. That was the initial connection was made by a picture of Krishna to ISKCON. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Any other question or comment, or shall we conclude here? Okay, thank you very much. Granthara Śrīmad Bhāgavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Aradhya sister. What's your name?
Archita.
Archita. Aradhya Archita. Both are same. We both are